Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to take a quick look here at Solana, see what's going on. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Hope you can learn something today. Quick congrats to our community members here. Fantastic trade results here from Filecoin, 40% in 4 days, Matic 22% in 2 days, and of course, nice little Solana along there at 42% in 3 days. So been a nice little profitable 24 hours for us here, or sorry, more so 72 hours. We took profits throughout the weekend. But generally speaking, at this point here with Solana, it's pulling back pretty hard, mainly because Bitcoin is retracing. Okay, so a lot of alts are pulling back with Bitcoin for the moment. And keep in mind, Bitcoin does have that CMA gap there between like 63 and 65K. While I think that that's going to take a little while to get there, there's still possibilities of Bitcoin pulling back and rejecting off that 70,000 level, which we did see yesterday. That factors in here mainly because Solana is also retracing with it. So Solana's moderately aligned with Bitcoin for now. So just keep in mind that's kind of where we're at there. Double check this here. We got some significant amount of liquidation at about 197 and some late longs here about 186. So generally speaking at this point, this is par for the course. This is standard stuff. I wouldn't be too overwhelmed with the pullback here. It makes sense it's going to, considering how overextended Bitcoin is leading into that closure from yesterday. So that all kind of factors in here. So please understand that we're going to look at some fib levels here and double check key levels of support where we should experience to see a bounce. And then also recognize too, this 0.618, this golden pocket, did reject the price action pretty hard here. It's just this level just above 0.618. We did also have a cup and handle pattern where the price cupped and handled out, broke out, but since Bitcoin couldn't sustain 70K, we're seeing the price pull back. So again, cup and handle, any type of pattern breakouts are nice, folks, but you can't just expect it just to continue to catapult from there. A lot of times it will respond poorly or conversely to Bitcoin. And in this case, we have a pretty significant alignment with Bitcoin with Solana for the moment. Having said that, though, we got an ascending trend here essentially on the 20-day SMA. We're still over that. It's a great sign. We zoom out a little bit here as well, just based on the average volume profile. We can see there's a heavy concentration of 148. We can exclude this 130 level because I think we're far away from that being a possibility. But if we kind of zoom in a little bit, we can see the largest amount of volume here for this coin, roughly at about low 180s, but there's quite a lot of volume throughout this entire range. So that's a very good sign. It does imply the likelihood of the price dropping through this support level here at about 175 as a round number is less likely. Okay. So again, just some macro perspective from volume, really helpful to kind of understand that. We can see not a lot of changes occurred here on the daily indicators. These are all kind of letting us know the same scenario is still in play. We're pretty much plateauing here with the MACD. Stochastic is swinging upwards on the daily. So more so conflicting, but more so bullish. No other way around it. It's not like a bad sign at all when you see these things. The 4-hour time frame is going to tell us a different story. A lot of coins are looking like this too. Even ICP looks like this here. We're a very strong coin. Due for a correction, we can see the RSI pulling back. Money flow index is moderately high, but stochastic swinging down for a second time. Again, carrying more weight than the first. Once more, if we're zoomed in here at this current level here, this is the last, rough estimate of about 10 trading days from March 15th. We can see we're right there at that resistance. There's 192, 193 is a heavy concentration of volume in the last 10 days. If you understand that, you can see and kind of experience why the price action broke down and now here at that level. What I mean by that here is just that volume has a tendency to work as a resistance until you can close above it. And we didn't get a solid closure on the daily above that level, this little 0.618 fib level at 192. So that does have a tendency of turning things around, so to speak. Once more, not a reason to take a trade, but just something is a contributing factor. We can also see MACD is trying to diverge here also. Hasn't yet, but it's soon to. So really just kind of implying that the shift of momentum here has shifted from bullish to bearish. However, we do got to recognize and celebrate the small stuff here. We did get a solid closure on the 4-hour time frame above that recent 0.618 fib level, and that does essentially establish higher highs. Okay, and why that's important is because it does imply that we're due for a higher low to follow in order to continue this trend. So if we look at these moving averages here, we see the 20-day SMA working its way up. We could probably draw a trend line out and kind of just presume the price action is going to go that direction. Okay, so it's just generally something you want to kind of pay attention to and look at. I don't think we're in dire straits by any stretch, but the price action pulling back the way that it has, this is very natural correction. I would say, however, if we lose this ascending trend line, we lose 20 on the SMA on the 4-hour, it would be a different conversation. But for the moment, we're sustaining at that level. So hypothetically, 184 to 186 might be a decent consideration for entry here, pending Bitcoin does not continue to run any lower than it has. Okay. Once again, Solana is fairly contingent on Bitcoin's success right now. It is moving up with Bitcoin, but moving down harder with Bitcoin. So you got to recognize this coin is still overinflated, so to speak, in the big picture. So it is due for larger corrections. And again, you can kind of presume that with the quote unquote stronger coins, they're going to correct themselves stronger because they've been overextended for some time. I'm not saying Solana is overextended per se, but 170, 180, we didn't expect those prices a month ago, right? It's generally one of those things here. The mindset has shifted, and in that sense here, this is one of the more profitable coins out there, and in turn, there's more profit to be taken from this coin too when Bitcoin goes south. All that being said, we're still maintaining above the cloud here so far, but there's no doubt about it. Lagging span is within the price action or has crossed over to that bearish sentiment. A conversion line and baseline are fighting, so to speak, at this point to hold. So in all reality, a long position is slightly risky at this point, just based on the fact that Bitcoin could continue to correct itself. So this indicator is more of a conservative indicator saying, hey, Solana may or may not continue higher. At this point, we've confirmed that it should continue lower. So again, this is more of a smaller time frame scenario. This can change almost instantly. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's exactly why I use larger time frame fib levels as well as volume profiles or point of control. And if we, as we zoomed out, we have some decent support here between 184 and 186 based on fib levels, and we also have that support level at about 175, 176 range for volume. So heaven forbid the price continues lower, we should have some support in those ranges. But ideally, we maintain ourselves above this ascending trend, and we're in good shape. Again, it's nice to see the trend line running concurrent with the cloud. It's a very common occurrence and just a nice reaffirming factor that we might be establishing our higher low now. Because once again, the more recent high here we see here that before the price broke out, that is effectively going to work as a new low in a perfect world, right? That's how it should work. Okay. So again, we're due for a pivot and a correction off 184, 186. If that doesn't happen, we'll have to reevaluate, of course. Just pay attention to this trend line and kind of see where we're at. So I'll go ahead and provide an update here later for us today as well. Solana, ICP, those have been highly requested coins lately. So I'm going to try to cover those daily if I can, or twice a day. But moving forward here, I would just wait for the bottom to get in. Try not to be super anxious. If you're in our trade currently, I'm confident we're still going to be able to hit our second target. But truth is, you should have taken a decent amount of profit on your first and adjusted your stop loss a little bit higher to at least the break even. So make sure that you're in a situation here where you're taking profits from this coin regardless of what happens. Don't just let it go into the red because you're so stubborn to hold onto the trade. That may or may never happen, right? Again, there's no guarantees on anything, but what is a guarantee is the ability for you to secure profits when you are in the profit, when you're in the green, right? Just do it, folks. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with taking less profit now than you could have later, and instead of avoiding that and turning it into a red trade. There's nothing worse than that. That's where you lose sleep at night, and that's where you're getting gray hairs, and that's exactly why you should set it and forget it and make sure that you have confidence in your trade by just making sure that you're not over leveraging and using too large a position size. So congrats to our community members who have been patient and waited things out. Essentially, it does pay off if you trust your TA. And at this point, I'm confident we're still going to see a bounce from this coin, just a matter of when or where. Ideally, we're going to get a pivot here about 184 to 186. Okay, hopefully I described that correctly. A lot of folks are also trading with Bitunix. Make sure you check this out, link down below, for awesome benefit rewards when you use my link to register. No KYC or VPN for this exchange. Absolutely recommended by our community, and myself included, of course. I love them. They're my favorite exchange. Last but not least, too, if you're going to join our Trading Academy community or Signals group, make sure you read through the Signals guide, folks. Some people jump in here and just get crazy with the day trades, and you got to recognize there's a very specific system in place. You have to watch the day trades specifically day in and day out. If you're not doing that, don't even bother, okay? Because again, day trading is a different beast, folks. Some people try to turn day trades into swing trades and do all sorts of nasty stuff. It's not ideal, okay? It's a very, very challenging aspect of trading, and I don't really love it myself. Exactly why I have a trading bot do that for us. All right, thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your day.